Let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Wellness Farmer podcast, where your health is my focus. I take what has become too complex and help you by simply focusing on where health is found, and that's inside of you. So, how do we empower ourselves to feel our best? With care of our spines, eating nutrient dense food grown on fertile soil without chemicals, adequate movement, and natural internal dialogue. And on today's episode 207, I'm going back to the beginning and reminding myself of who I am, and while I'm at it, reminding you who you are. So we're so much more than we think we are. Hopefully this episode reminds you and helps you make those awesome changes in your lifestyle choices, because it is up to us, each of us, and every one of us to remember who we truly are so we can become our best selves. Today is February 28th, 2019. I'm Ben Page, your host, and before we get into the main part of this episode, I need to talk about a couple things. If you haven't joined my email list, join it at my webpage, pastorsgotothisfarm.com. There you get a couple articles free, and you also get a couple of chapters of my book absolutely free, The 4 Pillars of Health, and hopefully you dig it, and hopefully you can go to amazon.com and get your copy of it so we can increase our knowledge about health, natural health, the natural way of reaching your health potential. But that all starts by reading a couple chapters for free, and that all starts by joining my email list. So go to Pastors Go to This Farm and join my email list. There's other great ways to help me out. You can buy your stuff from Amazon that everyone buys nowadays, but by going to my webpage first, Pastors Go to This Farm, clicking on the Amazon button on the right-hand side of the page, and then do whatever you would do normally, and that helps me also. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, where I have a new series going on. We're at episode 13 now, called Huerto Urbano, where I'm showing you how I'm growing a little bit of my food in just the little area that I have in my front yard and my backyard, hopefully inspiring you to grow some of your own food. Again, my book's at amazon.com, The 4 Pillars of Health, and if you want me to help you one-on-one, I'm here to do that. I will help you reach your potential. We can do that through Skype, talking one-on-one, personalized, and that all starts with my webpage, Pastor Go to This Farm, setting up an appointment there for 15 minutes. We talk and figure out what we can do, how I can help you. And most importantly, if you're getting anything out of this podcast, if you're getting value out of this podcast and you want to bring some of that value back, Patreon.com. Patreon.com is the best way to do it. Or just go to my website and click on the Patreon button, and it's going to take you straight there. It gives you a nice explanation of how you can help me if I am helping you. And hopefully I am helping you, and that's the reason why you were listening to this podcast. All right, let's get into the main content here. So before I get into the main, actually I want to start with two quotes. One is by Diogenes, a Greek cynic. He says, "It is the privilege of the gods to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little." The other, the more things we desire and the more we have to do to earn or attain those achievements, the less we actually enjoy our lives and the less free we are. So these were both from the book The Daily Stoic, written by Ryan Holiday. Think about those quotes as you go through your day today. Well, today, like I said, feels like a great time to talk about who you truly are. So this is for me just as much as it is for you. For me, the internal struggle has always been the hardest part of natural health. Strengthening the mind has always been my weak point. So what am I going to do? I'm going to start working harder on that part of my health, because that's what needs to be strengthened. That's where I'm the weakest. I've progressed a ton. But there's still a lot of things that I can improve on, and there's always going to be ways to be better at what I'm getting better at. But to control my emotions during one event in my life, still it's tough. It's tough to control that one major problem. But like I said, there's a lot of progress, and I can't get myself down due to the fact that there is still lots of ways to improve, but I have improved quite a bit. So I usually lose control of my emotions because of one thing done by one person. It's basically down to that. It seems to get the best of me. That one thing, and well, we all know those last couple of pounds, the hardest to lose. The last rep is the hardest, and in my case, the last thing is this one event. This one event. Of course, I'm not perfect, and I'm constantly trying to get better at all aspects, but it seems like almost a given. This happens, and I lose control of my emotions. And I've come to realize that as a result, I usually get one of those headaches. That's how my body lets me know that I'm doing something wrong. So I've been able to correlate with the episodes of me getting of this negative emotions taking control of me, and a headache 2 or 3 days later. So not able to control my negative emotions causes stress, that tension, that causes tension, and that eventually will cause a headache. And it's a killer headache telling me to stop doing that. Stop letting your emotions control you. Control your negative emotions. That's what it's telling me to do. Now, am I going to do that? So that is what a symptom is at its core. It's your body telling you that there's something wrong. So symptoms are never an error in how your body or cells function. Symptoms represent important signals from your body. And when I say body, I'm talking about in your totality. I'm talking about your physical, emotional, and your spiritual self. But when I get a headache, the headache represents my natural intelligence's best ability to adapt to an unhealthy environment. So what is that unhealthy environment? That's my negative emotions in control. That's a completely unhealthy environment. If it's an internal environment, but it's completely unhealthy. So it's not my natural intelligence that isn't working properly at the cellular level. No, it's working perfectly fine, adapting at the cellular level to my unhealthy environment, which I am putting it in, which again is the negative emotions that are in control at the moment. So the problem it's not me, it's the environment I am putting myself into. In my case, it being that negative internal environment. Same thing happens when we put ourselves in negative physical environments also, or physical environments that aren't healthy. So we are an ecosystem of trillions of cells. And me, you listening, everybody else has this ecosystem of trillions of cells, this natural intelligence that always works towards health. We are born with this natural intelligence to always move towards health. We are programmed to be healthy. That includes me, and that includes you listening to this podcast. So we're these trillions of cells, each cell programmed for health. We're an ecosystem. We're an ecosystem of trillions of cells, all put together, working together to reach the same goal: health. Well, you can ask, why am I not healthy then? Why don't I feel right? Isn't it my body's fault? If they're always trying to work towards health, why am I not feeling right? Or is it the environment we are putting it in fault? And that can be internal, like my headache, or external. So our ecosystem of cells are always work perfectly in relation to any given environment. We never move away from health unless our natural intelligence is forced to adapt to either a physical, emotion, or chemical stressor, or physical, emotional, chemical environment that's not productive to health. So if we give our natural intelligence all the nutrients it needs and remove stressors, we will be healthy. That's it. That's you. That's me. You do those two things and you'll feel great. Is it easy? No, it takes time, and we're all in this same boat. We're all doing these same things, and I still have to work on many things, just like everybody has to work on many things, and we're all on different levels, but we're all working towards the same thing, to feel great. So if we want to feel great, we have to decide to put ourselves in healthy environments, period. We have to live a life where we make healthy choices. We need to live a lifestyle of health. That's it. Our cells do all the hard work. Our state of health is dependent on our lifestyle choices. All those choices can be broken down to really 5 choices that we need to truly focus on: what we eat, how much we move, how we talk to ourselves, how we rest, and what type of professional we seek for care and expertise. Those are the 5 major choices where if we can work with those 5 choices, we'll feel great. That's pretty much it. If we focus our lifestyle choices on eating food grown or raised on soil that is alive without chemicals, if we move adequately, if we rest sufficiently, if we talk to ourselves in a natural manner, and we search and find a professional we can trust for care and expertise, we are on the road to feeling great. It's so important to understand who we are, because then we can start down that path that can sometimes be a little rocky, focusing and implementing lifestyles that help us throughout our lives to feel great. And as you continue to see it, this is something that it's a life. It's not just one thing. It's not one decision. No, these are decisions we take. We choose every day to live healthy, to be able to serve and help ourselves and those around us. So we know that we are an ecosystem of trillions of cells that are always working together to be healthy, and only when we make unhealthy choices and force our natural intelligence to adapt do we not feel great. So all we have to do is make healthy choices and we will be healthy. Sounds simple enough, I know, but it's not that simple. Some healthy choices are more difficult than others due to how we were taught, the societies we live in, and a lot of other external factors. Many people will try and change and eventually go back to their old habits. Why? Because they are trying to change a behavior, but our behaviors always have a more deeper cause. We behave, we act, we think because of our belief systems. We cannot change a behavior until we have changed the cause of that behavior, which is the belief system. The behavior is the symptom of the belief system. To be able to live healthy lifestyles, we have to change our belief systems. We have to dig deep, and that can hurt. And no one wants to hurt. Sometimes that hurt is an emotional pain of knowing that we have lived a certain way and now understand that this whole time I've been putting myself in a situation where my body had to constantly adapt to an unhealthy environment. That's tough. That is tough. That's not easy to realize that. And then there might be a little physical pain and suffering, but suffering makes us better people. And hopefully you listened to the last episode, episode 206, where I talked about that. So we know one of the 4 lifestyles we need to focus on is more movement. And I'm using that as an example. Our belief system about rigorous movement for many is what? Painful, hard, tiring. I mean, how long will we continue to do something that is painful, hard, and tiring deep down? It isn't until we change the belief system to beautiful instead of hard, joyful instead of painful, and completely fulfilling and invigorating from outright tiring, we'll be able to make a lifestyle out of it, and it will go from I don't want to do this to waking up the next morning with exercise already on your schedule. So we need to change the belief system, how we think about those movements, those actions, those thoughts. So if we can change that belief system that is a lot deeper, the actions become a lot easier to continue to do for longer periods of time or make a lifestyle out of them. So this is powerful. It brings everything dealing with health back to where it should be, in the hands of each individual. If we can change the modern belief system of health to the proper belief system of health, which is we are an ecosystem of trillions of cells programmed for health, and then align our other belief systems about how we eat, how much we move, how we talk to ourselves, how much rest we get, and the professional we seek for care and expertise, we will feel great. Because that is who you are. That is who I am. We are ecosystems that are constantly working towards health, and only move away from health when we make the decision to move ourselves into an unhealthy environment, that being internal, external, causing our natural intelligence to intelligently adapt to that situation to keep us alive. Man, I love this stuff. Hopefully this pumps you up to dig deep down and find what are your belief systems. What is keeping you back from making those important lifestyle choices about your most important asset and valuable investment, your health. Love this stuff. Well, if you got a second, take a picture of the screen, share it on Instagram, tagging me at BenPageDC. I will tag you right back. Share this if this resonates with you. If you know someone that can get something out of it, share it with them. And you guys are awesome. Stay awesome. And well, I'll see you next time on the Wellness Farmer Podcast.